We talked with Nebraska head coach Matt Rule and new defensive coordinator John Butler and players here on Thursday. But before I get to that, this report is brought to you by Game Time. There's no better place to get your tickets for the upcoming Pinstripe Bowl, basketball game, volleyball game, concert, you name it. Game Time has you covered. Download their app in the App Store and use the promo code ON3 and they'll give you $20 off your order at Game Time. Again, download the Game Time app, promo code ON3. Well, first and foremost, we talked with head coach Matt Rule here on Thursday about the decision to go with John Butler as his defensive coordinator.
I talked to John about his vision. I interviewed probably 5 people, 6 people. There were a lot of parameters to me that mattered. The least of which was the optics. I was like, I didn't care about making a splash or anything like that. I wanted to make the right decision. As I've said, Coach Kevin McGarry, who's been here the last couple of years, I think he told one of the candidates, that coming here is like is a defensive coordinator's dream. We practice a certain way, we play a certain way. So I wanted to get the right person. I talked to a lot of great candidates. There was a ton of interest from sitting defensive coordinators. But I thought I really like what we've done the last 2 years. I thought we maybe took a step back defensively a little bit this year in some areas. But I like what we've done. I like the overall general philosophy. And so, but to win moving forward, and this is something that, a mentor of mine, Phil Snow, said to me. He said, Matt, to win moving forward, the things we're doing, the havoc that we're creating is great on, third down, first and second down. To be great moving forward on third down, some of the stuff that we've done in the NFL, third down packages, second and long packages versus the teams who can really throw it. Like, we can go out, we played good against Iowa, but, Iowa's a running team. To be able to stop the offenses that we're going to need to stop, that can drop back and spin the ball, we're going to need some advanced, I think, defense on third down, 2-minute, red zone. And as I went through that, John had the top secondary in the NFL for 5 years. There was a lot of outpouring from our current players, guys I really respect. And, I'm not going to make that decision because of that, but I think they felt like, some of the current guys in the secondary felt like after 3 or 4 years in college, John had brought a professionalism and a next-level mentality to them that they thought was going to prepare them for the next level. Some of them had no business, they're leaving, so they didn't have to say that to me. So I think it was just a combination of who can add to what we're already doing at a high level, who can bring some things secondary-wise to really help us, and after working with John for a year, I thought he was really, really professional, really good to work with, great evaluator, and excited for him.
And for Butler, this is a big honor. He's waited to have this opportunity for quite some time.
Obviously, the last time I talked to you guys, I was fairly new on the job, and we kind of outlined how that happened so quickly. And here we are a couple months later, and obviously a much different role. But obviously, I'm excited about the opportunity, obviously, to continue my relationship working with Matt, working with these players. So I think I had, developed a very good connection with, I think, just working with those guys, not only just the DBs, but all the defensive guys, just working with them on a daily basis, trying to develop that relationship. And obviously just, continuing to develop and build upon the unbelievable history and tradition of the University of Nebraska and the Black Shirts, and understanding that's a tremendous honor. I know this was a highly coveted job, and Matt went through his process, and, I'm thankful that at the end of the day, he's given me this opportunity and given me a chance to, lead these group of guys and obviously help and do anything I can to put a great product on the field on defense.
And a lot of the players also were very supportive of Butler getting the job.
I think he's a really great guy. We've gotten to know him really well over the course of the season. And I think my favorite thing about him is his mind. I think he's just super, super advanced with his knowledge of the game. And I think he does a really good job at, passing that knowledge on to us.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about our coaching identity and, what that's going to be. But it's cool to have him in there, and his philosophy on things and, where he's coming from. So I really enjoy it, and, I'm looking forward to building something with him.
And moving forward now with this Husker defense, there's a lot that needs to be improved, and both Butler and Rule hit on that.
I think we've done a lot of good things in 2 years. I think some areas, though, like red zone defense, some of the things on third down are opportunities for us to get better. And I think a lot of that will come down to coverage and more advanced coverage and blitz packages.
I think at the end of the day, whatever you're doing on defense you've got to be able to stop the run. It's very simple. You got to be able to stop the run in today's market, in today's football. That's the run in the RPO game, and you got to be able to affect the quarterback. And that requires you to be aggressive not only in how you're calling the game, but aggressive in how you're teaching the fundamentals to your team. I think a lot of times people get it misconstrued that, oh, are you aggressive? Well, aggressive isn't about zero blitzing every snap. That sometimes can be stupid. But you have to be aggressive in how you get your players to play, to attack the line of scrimmage up front, to be physical at the second level, for our DBs to challenge and contest the ball. That's aggressive. And I think that everything about us is going to be, we're going to be an attack-oriented defense that's going to do our best to attack what the offense is doing and make it hard for them to move the football.
College football now in general, though, is very stressful in the month of December between the transfer portal, bowl practices, signing day. There's a lot on the plate of a head coach.
I love this month. Yeah, if I can, there hasn't been a day that Julie and I have not been out somewhere and someone's walked up to her and congratulated her on being pregnant, which she's not pregnant. It's like someone put something on social media, and literally, there hasn't been a day. She laughs about it. I have to just walk back, and we appreciate people for saying it, but in Julie's mind, she's like, I'm 50, and I would never announce that I'm pregnant after 4 weeks. So I would just tell everyone out there, be careful what you read. Be careful. I have people walk up to, I heard this, I heard that. But there's a reason why, if you look on my phone, there is no Instagram or Twitter. And I know that's a large part of what you guys do, but the external message maybe sometimes is not what we're saying here. I think we're really excited about the opportunities. You know me. I'm never going to say anything negative about anyone who leaves here. Sometimes people need to leave. Sometimes people aren't a great fit, staff-wise, player-wise. Sometimes there's guys you wish would stay, but they have to do what's right for them. But we are officially now a have. 1890, they've doubled down and they've helped us out, and now we have the rev share. We're going to have more than most people in college football. And so we have to make really good decisions. But, the staff that we've added, the people that we've added, people will text me and say, hang in there. I'm like, what are you we're 6-6. This is we're 6-6, so we got to get better. So I've really enjoyed it. Now, there's an emotional component of me that loves everyone I coach, and sometimes I worry about some guys making bad decisions. But I knew this was going to be really hard, just getting from 150 down to where we are and still adding the talent that we need to win. And so I see this as great opportunity, and this is a time that we need. So if I had one message, it would just be be careful what you hear, be careful what you listen to, be careful what you read. There's usually an agenda. A lot of people make money off of the chaos around Nebraska football. And there's things out there and I feel sometimes bad because I think sometimes you guys think I'm lying to you. There was a report that I had fired Garrett. I didn't fire Garrett. And then, honestly, the night before signing day, Garrett said, hey, my dad offered me a job. I haven't taken it yet. And, I called every recruit and said, hey, chance Garrett might leave. But I didn't know it till that night. So, but I love Garrett. He did a great job for us. He recruited Ja'Cory. He recruited Cortez. He recruited some great players for us. Now we got Daquille here. And Daquille, I think, he's going to be great. So this is a really good time, I think, for us. This is a time moving forward that we can make a jump. I expect us to make a jump. And the guys that are out there working. But there'll be a lot more perceived chaos in the coming weeks because that's what's going to happen. Some coaches have made the decision to try to keep their roster together through the bowl game. I feel like it's best to get it done now, and so we can move forward into the bowl game with who we think is going to be around. Some things will still happen, and then we can get the guys in that we want. So whereas I haven't been pro portal before because I didn't want to get rid of guys, now in this new model, we're embracing everything.
One recent player that went into the transfer portal was tight end Nate Borkacher, and the door is definitely open for him to come back.
Well, first of all, I love Nate, and there's different kinds of portal exits and entries, and it's all been a little bit different. Nate spent most of this year wanting to get done and go take a shot at the NFL and then see what life is. I think now, if you can go into the portal and see how much money you can get, then so be it. If you're in the NFL. There's a reason why everyone in the NFL doesn't always re-sign their own free agents. The desperate teams set the market. So the worst team, we all have about the same money now moving forward, right? So the worst teams are going to pay more money right? So, some teams are going to pay twice as much for a certain player. And so I think Nate he left very amicably, just looking at his free. I'll say this, I told you I really wish he'd play in the bowl game because he's been here for 5 years. I think it'd be good for him. But, I can't control that. But, I think, he's looking at what his options are, his potential is. We see great value in Nate. Since Dana's gotten here, he's really, really, really seen a lot in Luke Lindenmeyer, and we've used him a lot. We've seen a lot in Nate. We think Carter Nelson's going to grow into one of the best tight ends. We think Heinrich is going to be a great tight end prospect, and we have some young guys that we like. And so Nate he's done everything the right way. Could he come back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Those days of if you go in the portal, you're not coming. They're over, right? But some guys want to go in there and see what their options are. Some who go in can't come back, just because they're not the right option for us, and some who go in can come back, to be quite honest. And so this is completely different than it even was a year ago right now, with the amount of money floating around in college football. And so he's finished his development. What scares me, Sean, is to think that you're going to develop in college and play somewhere as a freshman, then somewhere as a sophomore, then somewhere else as a junior. You might make a little money, but I don't know if you're really ever going to become the player you could be. I think we'll have to wait 30 years and see who's happier, the guys who went somewhere for 4 years or the guys who moved around. They'll all have to figure that out. But, so Nate's open. I'd be open to Nate coming back. But I think he's just still trying to figure out, am I going to the NFL? Am I going to see what's out there for me potentially in college? And there's a lot of financial opportunities out there right now.
As for the bowl game, a lot of the players excited about the opportunity to spend the week of Christmas in New York City.
Me personally, I'm extremely excited. New York has always been a place that I've wanted to go to, and then spending the holiday season out there. You always see movies they be in New York, for Christmas and stuff. So I've always wanted to do that. So it's a bucket list thing. So I'm really excited to go out there and play. And then as for the team, it's the first time we've been to a bowl game in a long time. So everybody's excited about that. But the fact that we get to go to New York is, I think, is really cool.
We're going to New York City to play, so a lot of people pumped up about that. Yeah, a lot of people are excited.
Everybody excited. A lot of people haven't been to New York City, so I guess they're more excited about that. So they're all Ramir, what's the spots? Where we going to go? What we going to do? And I told them, when we get out there, I'll take care of y'all. Don't worry about that. So, but they're all excited about the city life, especially around Christmas time, too. They all want to see the tree and all that good stuff around there. So everybody's ecstatic, for sure.
I got to go to Central Park. I don't really know what else they got. I got to go get a chopped cheese. I'm not sure what else they got. I got to check it out. See what's. Oh, and I got to see a play. If I can see a play, I want to do that. I know they got that. I saw Hamilton last time I was in New York. They got the Michael Jackson play. I want to see that play.
And for both running back Ramir Johnson and defensive lineman Cam Lenhart, the trip to New York will be a homecoming.
Well, first thing I did was text my mom. I told her I'm coming home to play, and she said, "Hey, everybody can come." And then I was like, "Everybody," and then she said, "Yeah." So got to get them tickets.
A lot. I'm probably expecting between 50 to 75 range of just family, friends, high school coaches, youth football coaches, and just et cetera.
Super excited. Super excited. I get to see my family. A lot of them get to come watch me play. So I think it's a good opportunity, and I'm happy to see them when I go home.
I was excited. The first thing I did when I wasn't sure, I was I told my family members in our group chat, we might be playing in Yankee Stadium, so just be prepared for that. And it was well, let us know right away if that's the case, because we gonna be there. Whether you can get us tickets or not, we're going to be there regardless, so don't worry about none of that. So I was very excited, honestly.
And finally, Rule did say here as well on Thursday that last year's senior players will all be a part of the bowl trip in New York.
The school's not doing it. It's Julie and I's honor to pay for that, and we love those kids. I got a text from Ethan Pipe the other day. Hey, are we coming out? I started looking at New York City prices. I was like, dang, wish we'd have gone to somewhere else. But no, yeah, we'll fly them out. The day before the game or whatever. Have them come to the game. Have them be a part of it. They're a big reason why we're here. And like I said, I really believe in the foundation that's been laid. And I can't thank Ethan Piper enough. I can't thank Nick Henrich enough, and many, many, many more. So, this is just a small way to thank them for being in a bowl game. I'm a big believer in gratitude, whereas, sometimes you'll hear well, I want to go to a bowl game, but it has to be this one. I want to play one more. I want to play one more month with our guys. I'm just grateful, and so I'm grateful for those players. I want them to be there, and hopefully most of them can make it. Susan's handling that, so amongst 7,000 other things that she's handling. So don't worry about me this month. Worry about Susan, and worry about all the recruiting staff because they're working overtime.
With the Huskers in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.